how far we have to go before the level is technically over, but I know at some point we get to see the fruits of our labor, which is going to be awesome. Just as soon as I catch my breath. All this excitement. Ooh, ah, ooh. Alright, maybe do some jumping jacks. Here we go. And that is how poor Edward met his fate, met his end. Pretty grisly, but I don't know. We saw it at the beginning of the game, so I guess that's not much of a spoiler, but yep, that's how it happened.
Master, I bring thee grave news. The colony of Guardians in the Ruins of Ehn'gha has been decimated. Without them, I fear we are lost.
Your fears are unfounded, servant. This news is irrelevant. I have seen the future that will come to pass. In this vision, I see myself crushing Xanatos as I was destined to do. My many mouths consume its body from all sides, gnawing at it until nothing remains. This I've seen. This is what will be.
You would place all our faith in a vision?
Yes. Just as I have placed all my faith in you.
Oh, he has faith in him? That is so sweet. Alrighty. And a note from Edward. Alrighty. Sweet fucking awesome stuff. Alright, well, what do we got? I've left a small surprise to keep you going when everything seems to go awry. It's my favorite tipple, and there are several barrels of it in the basement. Oh god, that is just too classic. Here, Alex, I know that you're facing the zombies of eternal darkness and all this other nonsense, so here's some beer to help you cope with it. Maybe you'll become a raging, gun-toting alcoholic, just like all of your forefathers. Please help yourself what you can find. My guess is that I won't be needing it, because I'm fucking dead. Because I got my head bitten off by this gigantic crab monster thing. Oh, Grandpa, thanks for leaving me all of your wine, or your beer, or whatever it is, or your whiskey. God. Here, this will help you cope with it. I could have left you a weapon, or like a rocket launcher, or like a awesome spell. Nope, nope, nope. Here's some wine. Why not? Yeah, that's just too perfect. All these alcoholism jokes are slowly killing me inside. Much like alcoholism slowly kills people. Okay, anyway. So we go over to what he was talking about, and it looks like there was actually something stashed between the barrels of all of his delicious party liquor. A pickaxe. Sweet. And we can't equip it. It's not a weapon. It's just a good old pickaxe for demolishing walls. Too cumbersome to be used as a weapon, but might come in handy somewhere else. So, where would we want to demolish a wall, perhaps? No, there was that one part of wall on the second floor that looked like it could be cut away, so let's see what happens. But yes, the thing with that crab, I mean, one thing that I've always thought, it's like, well, it was 48 years after the fact that he brought the monster to bite off poor Edward's head. Why wait that long, though? I guess you can make the argument that, well, he had to regain his power and whatnot. You know, that they had to get all of his juices back first. But I don't know. It just seems a little bit far-fetched. Oh, and there's the nice one of we can hear it slowly approaching. Eventually, it's gonna roar at us. Oh, it's getting close. I think it's the same roar. Oh, it's a roar of one of the horrors. Oh, it's still going? Oh, no, it's gone. Alright, so, but yeah, just one of the many, not plot holes, but curiosities of the storyline that's always kind of stuck with me after the fact. Well, let's see what happens. Let's use this pickaxe to see what we can find. And that's how it happened, folks. That's what got Maximilian Roivas into the asylum, because to them, it was just cold-blooded murder. But he knew that those servants were out to get him, and that there were bone thieves inside of them. Well, I guess he didn't know it, but I think we can assume by that point. I think we've seen enough bone thief shenanigans to know what was coming. Pretty grisly stuff. So and interesting that like the blood splatters are still there. I mean, they didn't even try to clean it up. All they did was they boarded up all the windows and sealed the room off for good. Yeah, this bed was overturned and they rolled up the carpet. They did what they could to just plain hide it. They didn't. Oh yeah, that one too. I mean, it was, and obviously done in haste. I mean, they didn't even get to all of it. But ooh, man, they did not mess around. So now we know this is what put old Max into the silly ward. Well, we see that there's something in this smoldering pile of ash or something along those lines in the center, protected by a damage field. But we know exactly what to do with damage fields now, don't we? Since that one is blue, we need leaf or grass to defeat the water. Oh yeah. Why don't we have our gun equipped? It's always good to have it. Good to have a gun equipped. Am I right? An antique stethoscope. There is that fucking word again. Accidentally dropped into the pile of ash, glinting brightly in the light of the room. And there's a bunch of other stuff too. So we've got the stethoscope. Oh my god, fucking word. And also a piece of the journal. And also just yeah, strange on a bed of ash are the remains of 3 people. Yes, it's the duty that Maximilian had hinted at. He had suspected that his servants were not human, but there are only 4 skulls, and 3. I'm sorry, there were only 3 skulls, but there were 4 occupied beds. We saw that 4 men were killed in this room. So what happened to the 4th? And that's a good question. So I guess that's all I'll say there. And let's see what old Max had to say with this one. As I contemplated these ideas, my suspicions of my servants grew, and I became increasingly fearful of them. I began to watch them carefully. Days ago I watched one of them stretch his neck. I could have sworn I saw a twist in a most peculiar direction, and a bulge of muscle tissue collect and grow in the most incorrect of manners, as if a bone was being displaced from its proper location and something else moving in its place. So yes, that's when he knew that these unholy creatures wore the skins of mortal men and women. I had to take action. Dear God, let my hand be swift and merciful, lest the world see more of these diabolical creatures. So the proof is in the pudding right there. It was no mistake that these guys were bone thieves. So Max was right, and he had to make the ultimate sacrifice and get thrown into the asylum, but he had to do what was right, relatively speaking. And I told you to remember that the setting from the prologue, and this is it. This is the servants' quarters. You can go back and watch it, but you'll recognize the servants' quarters match what we saw in the cutscene at least. So there you have it. And it looks like there's something up ahead. Indeed there are. Yes, now we actually get to see some action for ourselves. Get out of here. Oh, it's a trapper. Damn. There's a trapper there somewhere. He got us. Alright, how's our health? Oh yeah, it's doing fine. I was gonna go right for the purple. I was gonna say if our health is down, then I'll go to the red one and get ourselves healed up, but come on, purple. Come on, baby. There it is. Yes. But now we actually get to see some action with Alex, which, yeah, I mean, before then it's just kind of been the central hub of Get out of here. The central hub of you know, I'm not even gonna mess with these guys, but going from chapter to chapter, and I'm actually gonna get a look at this guy. Young man's body lies hunched against the wall of the platform, blood from the vicious wounds, blah 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 blah. So this is definitely the same guy, and the first guy that was back in World War I. So this is the body hasn't decomposed one bit. He's still here. It's the same guy. He looks exactly the same. I don't know. It kind of blows my mind. Maybe you can make the argument this little trapper dimension exists outside of reality or something along those lines. Just die already. Nobody likes you. You're a bone thief. You don't even read. Ah, get out of here! Damn. I didn't even see that coming, honestly. Surprised the shit out of me. Blam, motherfucker! Alright, get ourselves all patched up here. Now that Alex is starting to see some action of her own, with some of these crazy-ass monsters that are out to get her. Though through all that, we now have a stethoscope. That word will forever vex me. Yeah, die. For kids. Nintendo for kids. I also, in my research, I found out that this was the first party, well, from what I understand at least, the first game published by Nintendo. Obviously, Nintendo didn't develop it, Silicon Knights developed it, but it was the first game published by Nintendo that was rated M. Which I suppose makes sense. I figured that something else would have come along sooner, but just thought that was kind of a nice little fun fact for you, for you guys. So, a little tidbit of knowledge, you know, no extra charge. I just like to do what I do to help out my viewers and learning these wonderful life lessons. Now, I apologize. I'm gonna actually have to turn the volume on my TV up a bit, so you might hear a bit of an echo effect. But I need to be able to hear the things crank along in the vault to be able to open this bad boy. So, slow and steady wins the race. Hope this noise isn't driving anybody too crazy. Alright, so we tripped one. And where's the third one? Second one. Come on. It's gotta be here somewhere. There it is. I think it's randomized each time. I don't think it's always the same. There it is. Yes! Got it on the first try. Turn the volume back down. Usually I have to do that a few times, but I'm glad I was able to get it in one try on this one. Its contents are revealed many important items, and that is definitely an understatement. The essence of Ulyaoth, holy effing shit. And then a crankshaft. Okay, yeah, that's cool. A letter from Edward, no, that's good too. And then a chapter page. Awesome.
A storm approaches, Augustus. A storm of metal and fire. And a torrent of souls along with it. Young and vibrant.
Yes, I have seen it coming. A worthy sacrifice, I am sure, and one that will allow the greater guardian that resides below to finish its channeling. With this sacrifice of souls I make unto thee, Great One, the gate shall be ready to be opened, and your freedom shall be at hand.
Alright. And one thing I didn't really make note of it, but like when Edward blew up we found that the actual term for it was the Ruins of Ehn'gha. But when he blew up those ruins, they didn't really mind. They were like, fuck that bitch. No big deal, so didn't really seem to faze them. I guess it just slowed down their plans, but it really didn't throw anything off. So, first things first, let's check out the letter from Edward.
Dear Alexandra, if you are reading this, Alex, then I am surely dead. Knowing that the police will contact my only living relative, I made sure to leave this message for you. As I write this letter, Pious Augustus is waiting for his chance to strike me down for what I have done to the Guardian City. I believe I have slowed Augustus's plans, but not stopped them completely. He will still try to bring his ancient into this world. You must continue what our ancestor Max has started. You must gather the artifacts and call forth an ancient to combat what Augustus brings into this world. Of the artifacts, there are 4. but one of these is in the clutches of Pious himself. They are the black heart of Mantarok, the claw of Chattur'gha, the sigil of Zelototh, the veil of Uliauth. Your skill in the arcane science will not be as strong as Pious's, who has had 2 millennium to prepare his gate. You will need all the remaining artifacts to match his power. It all rests with you, my dear. I wish you well in this desperate act. I wish I had more guidance for you, but I am at my wit's end, and I feel I am running out of time. Your loving grandfather, Edward.
Alright, well, you heard it from the man himself. I think that's the first note, or even... I don't think I'm spoiling anything. I think that's the only note in the game that's given its own voiceover. But yes, the essence of Uliauth, this one's big. I mean, the whole guy that we're fighting is Chattur'gha, so we can assume that this is the key to fighting Chattur'gha. Which explains why you had that locked in a vault, because you wouldn't want anything nefarious to get its nasty little claws on it. So, we've got this guy. We've also got the essence of Mantarok. Zelototh remains. And... think... okay, yeah, I remember when we get that, so... and then the crankshaft. And the crankshaft... you know, I'll save that for next time. So, anyway, that does it for this episode. I thank you guys for sticking it out. Like I said, that was one of the longest episodes in this Let's Play, most definitely. At least it was one of the longest chapters. But we got a lot done. We got to see a lot of storyline stuff. Still more to happen, but definitely lots of pieces are starting to come together, which is very nice. So, well, that's all I got. So, thank you guys once again for watching. I'll see you guys next time when we begin the chapter for Ashes to Ashes. I'll see you guys then.